talking about yesterday on the way home. My 2-hour trip became a 4-hour trip because nobody listens to me when to leave for traffic on Labor Day weekend. But I was telling my wife this. I said, you get these people that tell you they're down the shore, they're at the beach, they're in Wildwood, wherever they're at, and you talk to them real quick, you exchange a text, and then that's it. You go, well, I don't think I can make it out for dinner tonight. He's like, you know what he responded with? Okay, bro, or thanks, bro. That's it.
I know I did, and I said okay because I was actually pissed, and I wanted to be like,
I could tell you were, and I felt bad.
Brian,
I felt really bad.
But I said okay, no worries.
He said, awesome, bro, enjoy. And, I'm not going to get into this, but this is what I was doing. What do you want, man? I sent him pictures to soften the blow. He didn't even care.
Did you send me a pic?
I sent you all kinds of pictures of my kids having fun.
I didn't even look at them.
You're a clown.
I don't like your kids.
Sometimes I love them, but sometimes I'm like, myself. All right, let's get into fight talk since you've now roasted me. I'm sweating here. He would have paid for the pizza, too. I should have just gone. Damn it. All right, next time.
Not Max.
You get that new place you like.
Max is too greasy, man. It's like a laxative.
I love it. I eat a whole pie, man. Do you like Max Pizza? You know Max Pizza? You're a Delaware guy, though.
Yeah.
So Max Pizza is a big New Jersey Wildwood thing.
You're a grotto guy?
Grottos.
I'm not pizza anymore, man.
You don't eat pizza? Where's your mic?
I don't need one.
And who's sitting on your lap? This is weird.
Talking to mine.
Man. Standing man. We getting hyped.
Stand.
My man, standing man.
Is that what you? No, I can't.
We need the fans to pick a cool name for him.
Rob's Rubber Doll. Rob's.
I don't know if I want to put this to the fans or not because I think
Rob's lap.
Does anybody have anybody out there that Rob can talk to for a little bit?
It's getting lonely. It's getting sad, man.
Rob is getting lonely and sad over there. Yeah. All right, let's talk about what's going on today. So a lot of great stuff. We're going to, of course, talk about this Saturday. Very excited to go back to Great Falls. I've never been to Great Falls. I hear the crowd's electric. I heard it last time. I was salivating at home watching. It's going to be great there. It was last time. If it's anything like last time, it's going to be nuts. People show up from the first fight, before the first fight on. So we can't wait to get to Great Falls. That's going to be fun for BKFC 29. And we're going to talk about some of the events there, some of the fights and the reasons we're paying attention to them. Also going to be talking about the recent tryouts that Lorenzo Hunt hosted, the Juggernaut. There, you got it. We're camera on. We're talking about you, Lorenzo. You don't have to jump in anymore and be classless. But I like it. That's what he said. I didn't say that. That was Rob. Rob. Rob doesn't have a mic, so I have to speak for him. So don't hold me accountable for the stupid things he's saying, Lorenzo.
I got nothing but love for Lorenzo Hunt.
Well, you went on Facebook and you were like, knock him out, Quentin Henry. What do you mean you got nothing but love? Speak for yourself.
No, I was just all.
You were just playing around, right?
Nah. Did I say who? I'm just saying in general. Just speaking in general.
Oh, he's got nothing but love. Yeah. You're such a goof. All right, so also October 1st, Monroe, speaking of the Juggernaut, Louisiana. That's going to be awesome because we're coming there for the first time. We're going to show the fans what it's like. You're so mature. We're going to show the fans what it's like, to see it live. It's incredible. We say it all the time.
Our first show in Louisiana.
That's going to be awesome.
Followed 2 weeks later by our first show in Denver, Colorado.
Boom, it's rolling out, Dave. This is exciting for you, I know.
Nah, it's great. Look, man, we worked so hard to get one state.
Yep.
And now to get the second and third state was almost impossible. But now, because of all the data we have and everything that we're doing, they're starting to open up, and it's just going to be unbelievable for the growth of this.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of that, and you can feel it. You can feel it when you're, and when you go in Great Falls, you're a rock star there. They love a fight town. We were in Albuquerque. That was insane. Yeah. That was insane. I thought England was cool with the crowd participation, but if this keeps rolling like this and these crowds keep getting louder and crazy, I mean, in Albuquerque, they were outside ahead of time. You saw them. They were lined up. And I walked out. I'm like, is everybody ready? They were going bonkers, dude. It was awesome. So if we can just keep this this bonkerish feel, good word, bonkers.
I think so, man. I think I'm looking forward to Great Falls. I wasn't able to make the last one either. So and I heard it was the best crowd we ever had. And I can't wait to go there, man.
I got a text live from Dave Jr. saying, man, I wish you were here, because that's one of the things I do. If you don't know, I get the crowd hyped up. Mm-hmm. And he's like, this would have been awesome. So I'm very looking forward to going. The flights are going to be a little rough. It's like, 9-10 hours for me to get there, but I'm looking forward to going.
You're more than welcome to drive. You can arrange it.
Who booked your flights?
He's going to get me. I booked my own flight there. We got to talk about that, too. We don't have to talk about it now, though. But we got to talk. I'm so confused. I got back from my vacation. I'm getting emails, whole thing. So let's talk about the fights. How about we do that on a bare knuckle podcast? Awesome. Evan's like, you guys shut up.
Well, I mean, I think the big news right now is, before we even talk about the upcoming fights, is, look, man, Muay Thai legend Bukal stepped into the squared circle for the first time this past Saturday morning, U.S. time, and 8 p.m. in Thailand, in Bangkok, Thailand. you don't even know the stuff that went on for that show. That's why I wanted to bring that up.
I
The
didn't know
things
that.
that
What
went
went on?
on, the things that were crazy about that show. So before we get into his performance, let me let you know that, there's so many things that we deal with day in and day out to put a show on, right? That people don't see, but they're not supposed to see it, right? They're supposed to see this beautiful, shiny product at the end, and that's all they're supposed to see. But let's just talk about it for a minute, because 2 days prior to that event, Nick Chapman, who heads BKFC Thailand, was told that he had to move the event from a stadium to another location.
I didn't know that.
So the classic stadium. So it's a lot of political stuff. There's 2 Muay Thai stadiums there, and they fight a lot over who's going to do what event there. So they had this event planned, permits pulled, everything was good to go. 2 days before, he calls me and goes, "Hey boss, I don't have a venue," and I'm like, "Well."
Oof.
Hey, Nick, go find a venue, and I know you will. And he did. He found a venue like that, and he pulled it off. So if there were any hiccups, I don't know, but if anyone saw any hiccups during the show at all, understand we had to switch venues within 48 hours, and he did a hell of a job. So I take my hat off to him, because now he understands the kind of stuff. Like, it's not just do this great event and, you have 4 months to plan it and everything falls into place. I mean, do an event after an event after an event after an event and drop the ball here and there and everything. You got to pick it up and put the pieces back together. But he did one hell of a job. He really, really did. So shout out to Nick Chapman, man. He pulled something great off there, which was Bukal as the main event.
Well, I was going to bring Bukal up because as we talk about the upcoming event, we have somebody from Muay Thai. He did Muay Thai. We know how dangerous Muay Thai fighters can be. I say this time and time again on the show. When I see somebody, if I don't know a lot, I see they've done Muay Thai, they're a force to be reckoned with. They're some of the toughest fighters in my estimation in the world. Bukal showed that. And I think it was a great event, too. I enjoyed it. Other stuff happening on the event, too, that I have to bring up.
BKFC Thailand going wild.
Yeah,
baby.
what does it say again? Say it loud.
BKFC Thailand going wild.
That's right, going wild, going crazy. My eyes came out of my head. I know a lot of people wish it happened towards the camera, what we're referring to, but it happened away from the camera. You can see it on the app if you buy the app, $4.99, bkfc.com.
So, when we had the photographers at ringside, we always say no flashing. And obviously Ty Emery did not get the message.
She stole the show, man. I think it's on Twitter right now. 5.5 million views.
Wow. Ty Emery, yeah. She
Do I have to speak into this?
What if you have
Can't
to?
hear
There
me.
you go. You're good.
People-
Ty Emery.
I guess people can't
What a
hear me.
victory celebration.
My first time on the
If
show.
you missed it. Rob, are
at
you
your
drunk
screen.
today? Is Rob
Nah,
drunk today?
man. This guy just
Ty
talking
Emery's
in my
flash
ear.
knockout coming up.
Yeah, flash knockout. That's what I was trying to make that joke. Thank you, Evan.
Welcome to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Ty Emery.
What is this?
Interesting celebration.
They look strange. They look
right
fuzzy.
there by Ty Emery. Haven't seen that one yet before, but look at that uppercut right there.
It's a good
And then
knockout,
followed
too.
by a clean
Yeah,
left hand.
that's the
look,
crazy
man.
part.
Contact
She
did a good job.
we
she
don't
stole her
condone-
own show.
I want to say something because I think they're going to show it if it's the one I saw. I love the fact whoever made this call. I was watching. I'm like, is this going to happen? Are they going to show her victory celebration in slow motion? Whoever made
cut
that
the
call
replay off.
Evan.
to show it in slow motion. No, the one on the actual broadcast. Is
Yeah,
on
it
the
was the Thailand Evan.
whoever
If I
did
was
that,
there,
I
it
was,
would have been me.
whoever made that call, and then I love it. I was like, well, that's a good victory celebration. I've never. He stayed very professional, very professional. I
That's
kudos
great.
to him and Sean, 2 professionals.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something that got us
And
a
look,
lot
at
of
the end
viral
the day,
moments.
It's not something that we encourage
No.
or endorse or anything like that. But at the end of the day, is the girl wanted to make a name for herself. She made a name for herself by scoring a sensational knockout, and then she did something that made people talk about her. And we don't love that she did it, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're all talking about it right now.
Bring her over.
Well, you're the president. You don't love it. I got to tell you, as a fan, I don't know if I loved it, but I was like, whoa! It caught my attention. Exactly what we're looking for, and I don't think we're going to be encouraging people to do that in the future. But hey, man, people are talking. That's what we want as we grow this, and we appreciate you guys being here. with us.
She certainly is coming over here.
My man
Evan,
loves it.
100%.
He's in my ear right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it now. He's like, yo, show, bring it out. I'm like, yo, show, homie. He could be the bad
You sure you
one.
didn't drink
I
any
gotta
vodka
keep it
today,
going.
Rob? I think vodka Rob's here.
I
Jekyll, Mr.
don't
Hyde.
even have anything to say right now.
I don't either. I don't know what you're even talking
What's
about.
wrong
You're just
with you,
blabbing.
man?
All right, this is going to go off the tracks quick with this guy. I can
love
already
it.
tell.
We're gonna have some fun today.
Yeah, we're going to have a great time. All
But
right, go ahead.
A serious note: does this open up the door for a bad precedent for?
Yeah, it
this
does,
is the
but
first time.
we're not gonna allow it.
because we're going to hand down.
Well, I
an
mean, across
announcement.
the board, though,
No,
what-
because look, at the end of the day, it's something that got a lot of people talking about it, right? But I mean, we're on major networks now going forward, and that type of thing will make us lose our contract. So that's something that
Right.
absolutely cannot happen again.
I hated it. I never want to see it again, ever. because I want us to continue. I thought that too, sponsorships, but then the 15-year-old me was like, oh, well, this is great. So
you know, it's one of them things. Look, it happened, and now we got to make sure it doesn't happen again, and that's it. But I mean,
so that's why we're talking about it.
Look, she did a great job of getting her name out there after she won. She did what she wanted to do. Well,
congratulations to Ty and all the fighters for a great event. Nick Chapman for a great event too. You can check that out, BKFC.com. And I believe, I could be wrong, Evan, correct me, the unblurred version is on the app, right?
Yes.
I was getting hit up by people. They're like, where can I see this? I said, on the app. All right.
That's what's nice about the app. We can do whatever we want.
I like how you're pretending that you didn't try to watch it 6 times.
I was on vacation.
So I actually went back into the accounts and I could see what video you watched most, and there was 800 replays at that time
Parental
code.
controls on.
Yeah.
I have no access to any of these
fraud.
accounts. They tell me nothing. I know nothing. I'm probably the lowest man on the totem pole here. I wish I could see these. I would have watched it a couple times. I mean, you want to see it. I'm a man. What do you want from me? I'm not going to deny it.
Dude, I'm of the mindset less is more.
What would your husband think of that?
If it did not show anything, I'm serious, man. Like Sears catalog, to me, I'm like, oh, that's sexy.
When I was a kid, the Sears catalog was it, right?
Yeah.
You had nothing else. There was no
Exactly.
internet. Didn't you look at the Sears catalog, the lingerie women? You don't remember that in the catalog?
You ever get shocked and you're like, oh, wow, Hustler?
Yeah, dude.
You got from Sears to Hustler. It's like, all right, a little too much.
There's no middle ground there.
You couldn't turn the pages after you watched it.
You can't unwatch it, man. You can't unwatch some
I
of
don't
that
think Rob
stuff.
gets
No, at the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, she did something. We're going to make sure it doesn't happen again because it can affect us going forward. But, you know, look, we're talking about it.
That's great. That's great. And we've said that a couple times. We understand that. But you kind of dodged the question as the president of the company, of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. You're very successful, the founder. I want to know, when you were young, would you look at the Sears catalog or Kmart when you're going through and you see it as a kid and you're like, whoa, these women are half naked. And you're just selling bras and panties.
He's going to be sleeping on the couch
I
for a
know.
month if he
This
answers
is
that.
when you're 15, man. He dodged
No, I looked at Playboy only.
that.
I did not. Look, I had an upgrade. I had an older brother, and I had fighters who lived in my house.
Did you?
So I didn't have to. I didn't have to go through.
Did your older brother? Wait a minute. Did your older brother charge? Did your older brother charge you by the page? I feel like he would do that. No, I think it's great. I used to have to find, if I was like driving my bike around, we would hit the jackpot and either find like Playboys in the woods somewhere hidden, or we'd find like somebody's trash that were getting thrown out. And as a kid, you don't think about it. You're like, oh, and we'd go hide them and stuff. It was great. We're losers. Anyway. All right, let's talk about the card. How far are we into the show now?
Yeah.
All right, so great job in Thailand. BKFC 29 this Saturday, Great Falls. We're seeing how excited we are about it. There's so much on this show to look at. If you go on the app or the website, bkfc.com, some great articles about it. And the thing I want to look at is if you start with like the major rankings implications, there's a lot of those on the lower cards of the show. And I mean, Jenny Savage, what do I have her listed as? She's 2-1, the number 3 women's flyweight. She's facing Veronica, and I'm going to butcher Veronica's last name. I've never dealt with Veronica before, and I'm excited to see her. I've seen a little tape on her, but she's 0-0. And apparently, I was talking to some people around here. She's really, really thought of as a tough person. So that's a major ranking implication. See where that gets her in her debut, if she can smoke Jenny Savage. But Jenny Savage, she's not smokable usually.
Yeah, don't
you know what I mean?
her, man. They
Big
call her
fan of
Jenny
Jenny.
Savage for a reason.
She sure does. Yeah. And she's also a big Macho Man Randy Savage fan. Did you know that? That she comes out to Randy Savage's theme. That's why she took the last name, I believe.
That's awesome.
Her boyfriend's a pro wrestler. It's interesting.
That's awesome.
He's an MMA guy too, yeah. Also, you got Dallas Davidson. He's going to be here. He's a big fighter, 2-0 with us now, and he's from Great Falls. Very big fan favorite there. And we're looking forward to that fight. And then it continues to number 2 ranked BKFC featherweight Rusty Crowder. He was pretty popular there last time, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. I think Evan can answer that one. Was that the beer?
Yeah,
Evan?
they threw it at him, or they tried to throw it at him, and it hit me.
They probably tried to throw it at you and it hit you. That's right. So Rusty was very popular last time. He's returning 4-3. I want to see how they're going to treat him this time on his return against the number 3 ranked, I think one of the most popular fighters on the card. You see him up here, Kai Hefty Bag Stewart. This guy's, I think he's either recently out of college or still in college. You know, all his college friends are going to come. I remember last time he had to take his finals early in college so he could fight. How awesome of a story is that? Yeah, so Kai Stewart and Rusty Crowder.
Isn't he a college wrestler?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe he told me that when I interviewed him. So he's in the business of getting his name out there. Does he love bare knuckle? Well, you have to love it. I would think you can't just step into it, but I think it also is going to help him grow his socials and everything like that from last time I talked to him. And the crowd absolutely loves him. But yeah, Rusty, they don't love, no love lost for him. So that'll be good. And then you look at the main event. Let's go to the co-main. I'm sorry, first. Joe Diesel Riggs, we saw what happened last time with him in an area where we thought that, he may win. Yeah. Lorenzo defeated him swiftly, handily. It was easy for Lorenzo, it seemed. So I'm looking forward. Joe, is going to have a lot of fire lit under his ass. Coming back, wants to reprove himself. And I think Josh D-Day Dyer is going to be a good fight to watch. I mean, D-Day is no joke. If you look at Riggs, I believe he's 3-2-1. And, I mean, we know what he's done in UFC. I don't need to go down that in his fighting career, combat sports vet. Josh D-Day Dyer, man, on the climb. And he's had some great wins over Dakota Cochran, Jared Warren. Great fights. So it's stoppages too.
It certainly is a crossroads fight, right? I mean, if Joe Rings loses and doesn't put on a good performance, could be the end for him. And if Josh D-Day Dyer looks sensational, he could be the next thing again. I mean, his only loss really was he did get stopped, but I mean he had contacts loose in his eyes and his eyes started swelling shut. So I mean the kid comes to fight. He can really fight.
He does. Yeah. He does. Every time we see him during weigh-ins and everything, he's so calm and he's just ready to fight. He's looking forward to it. And the guy, look,
dude,
in real life,
look at him.
He's intense.
Look at my man.
He's intense. He paints
his
houses.
His eyes. You see his eyes?
Dude,
his eyes are always like this. I'm like,
he's
wow,
ready to rock.
Paints houses.
Yeah, I couldn't. I mean,
like that movie.
That's right. That was the joke. Yeah, I don't think he does it like that. I don't think he does it like that.
Inside the ring.
I'm glad you picked it up.
This is knocking people out.
Now, if you look at the main event, I mean, look at this main event. Britain it up.
This is knocking people out.
Now, if you look at the main event, I mean, look at this main event. Britain Hart, who's back like that. I thought she was going to take some time off. We talked about that last week, I believe, with her.
Yes, we did.
She couldn't wait for this women's strawweight championship, and this is a big deal because Fanny is she's from Greece, fights in Thailand. She's the BKFC Thai champ. But I want to put out there, this is for the world title, the women's strawweight world title, which is going to be contested in BKFC. So just because she's the champ, it means a lot, but it doesn't mean anything to this fight. Her belt's going to be safe. This is for the BKFC,
the money,
the big
one.
all
kit and caboodle.
And Britain Hart's ready for it. Britain Hart's really ready for it. We saw that last week. Britain Hart's always a fun fight, whether she win, lose, or draw. She comes to fight, and I enjoy watching her fight. So I'm excited to see what Fanny's all about. Again, Muay Thai.
Yeah.
She's got. I think it's like 60-some fights in Muay Thai or something like that. It's a lot. And Britain was saying that.
Yeah, she was talking about it last week. She's not taking this lightly by any stretch.
No.
Her previous fighters.
Different Britain Hart. Do you agree? I agree.
Dude, 100%. Again, I said it on last week's podcast. I thought Beck Rawlings, lost the fight, but I corrected myself. Britain won that fight.
Yeah.
And now, truly focused, mind right, head right, better training camp.
What I've seen with Britain is there's been, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the showwomanship, if that's a word, showwomanship. That she comes in and she seems to have a lot to say a lot of the times. She had it with Pearl. She had it with you said Beck. They all do. But I feel like this time she is saying nothing but how much she respects her. She can see the fight she's been in. She studied her. It just seems like a different mindset for Britain, and I'm excited to see what that mindset's going to bring Britain. I mean, or what it's not going to bring Britain. Who knows? We'll find out this Saturday.
I'm telling you, man, I think Britain Hart, though, I don't think she gives herself enough credit. Some of the mind games that she can institute has, swayed in her favor for sure. I think she's gotten into the head of some of these, prominent female fighters, and that tipped the edge just enough to get that win.
But looking at the other side of things, playing devil's advocate here, if maybe she's not acting that way this time, that might throw somebody else off because, wait a minute, why is she not acting that way toward me? She's not threatened by me. She's just giving respect. And it's kind of cool to see Britain do that. She does respect, though.
Respect away from
no, you
family,
can't.
Man.
I'm not saying Britain doesn't respect people. She does, but it's usually more chatty, word stuff.
It's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, is there
Fanny is a big time counter puncher, which you don't see a lot here. Like she waits for a punch to come, she steps back, she comes back and counters. She does that very, very well. As we saw Britt in her last fight, she learned how to box really good. She danced, she did her thing, and she looked great. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, I do too. If you've never seen Fanny, I mean, she's, like I said, the BKFC Thailand champion, strawweight champion. So this is a little bit of what you might see with her. Dave was talking about her counter punching and how exciting it's going to be. I mean, the whole card, it always is. And I feel like we say it every time, but I'm going to say it again. I feel like every card levels up. We leave these cards and we get so pumped up. I can't imagine what the fans are feeling because we feel that way too. So we kind of know what they're feeling, but they're sitting in the stands. They don't know, like Dave said, all the stuff that goes into it. We leave clicking our heels together. At least I do. I just think it's such an opportunity every show to level up. And I think we've been able to do that. So it's exciting in that aspect as well.
Yeah, and the last BKFC event, I think there was like an hour preview before the prelims. I'm not sure if they're doing that again.
I don't know.
But it was a huge treat for the fans. They actually could, see the journey for everybody, the journey for some of the fighters that were fighting on that card, along with obviously the live prelims.
I mean, the prelims are great. They're fun. We always say don't miss them because any fight can be a sleeper fight. Yeah, don't sleep on it. He's even saying he knows, and his eyes are falling off, and he even knows. But it's good to watch the prelims. But I enjoyed the same thing you're saying. You get some of the fights, and you get some backstory as well. It's a little bit of everything. Again, it's free. It's a free view. They can watch that on YouTube, I believe, and Instagram as well.
Yep.
Instagram as well. Yep. And then we're on to the big fight. And if you're not paying that $4.99 a month, first of all, I don't mean to insult you, but you're foolish because it's a great deal. Second of all, I am going to insult you.
Scumbag.
It's insane. You're a low-life dirtbag.
No, listen, anybody asking, I hate seeing it too, man. I hate seeing it. I hate seeing the people that like put out like, the free links. Like, you'll link here, and half of it's like fake accounts anyway.
$4.99.
Yeah, and even so, the some of the other scumbag people out there that take the fights and repost it to their channels.
Look, dude.
I ain't gonna say no names.
No, you can say a name.
I ain't gonna say no names because then I'm like,
Rob's
man.
already got Lorenzo after him. Leave him alone.
I know. I'm gonna have the whole world coming
No,
after
I mean,
me.
some of these guys that are taking our product, our feed, and they're streaming it and they're making money off it. It's going to come to an abrupt end pretty soon, because look, we're at $4.99. We're giving the fans a lot for $4.99. We're just trying to be able to, keep this thing afloat, build this thing, and pay the fighters. It's not like we're charging $50 a fight. I mean, $50 a month. We're charging $4.99. So to take that from us, it's
taken from the fans.
It's taken from yourself. It's taken from yourself if you like what we're doing.
Not taken from the fans. Well, it ultimately is taken from the fans, because if you can't pay the electric, you can't pay the fighters. There are no.
It's taken from the fighters too. These people that put their lives on the line
so
for
it's
us.
taking away from the other fans that actually enjoy it and pay the $4.99 a month.
So there's a lot to that.
Yeah. So it sucks to see that. Of course, you're going to get some of it. But anyone that's actively promoting it and getting behind it, kick rocks, man. Go somewhere else. Go back to MMA.
I think they should catch bricks and kick rocks.
Yeah.
And you know what else? I also think that if you can't afford $4.99, I know it's the time of inflation and everything, but if you can't afford $4.99, you call me, you call Rob, Dave, can they call you? And we'll go over there and we will dig in your couch cushions and we will find $4.99, or we'll take a cup of coffee out of your hand. You need this anyway, Nerd Focus, not coffee, so don't waste your money on coffee. We'll take that out and then you can afford it.
Yeah,
$4.99.
What is Nate's number again? Let's give him that number to call.
If you have a problem, can I give Nate's number out live? Is that okay? I love
919.
One day.
989.
Do you have it memorized?
9989.
Oh my gosh, you just gave that out?
Yeah.
That might be somebody's number that's not Nate's. Now you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
You can't give out the whole number.
555.
Well, too late now. Jeez, Dave.
What was Mike Jones's number? Who? 8004.
Are you missing this? Because I don't know what the heck he's talking about.
No.
You don't know that song?
Oh, Mr. Jones? I mean, Mr. Jones and me?
No.
Miss Jackson? What are you talking? I don't.
Man.
What's the song, homeboy?
Mike Jones.
Is that the name of the song?
Who?
Should we know this song, Evan? Dave? Somebody?
God. How am I the
I know
youngest
what he's
person
talking
on this
about,
podcast?
but he's like acting like he's 50 right now.
What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah. What are you? Are you really?
Terrible, man.
Something's wrong with you.
He's red. He's red in the face
Mike,
too.
Mike
Fire him.
Jones is a famous rapper that gave out his
Isn't that
telephone
Virgil's real name?
number, and people used to call him. He used to respond. It was like this whole.
What year
big
was
thing.
this?
They actually have a new program out there that allows the celebrities and stuff to actually text message now all their fans. You know that? Like
I've heard-
they actually get a text message and they text message their fans.
I'm sure it's really the celebrity texting their fans.
No, it
too.
is. It is.
No, but this dude did it though. That's what I'm saying. The guy Mike Jones is a rapper.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Mike Jones is Virgil from the WWE. Isn't that his first? Isn't that his real name?
Who?
I don't know.
That
Yeah,
was his whole song. Who? Mike Jones.
I don't. What year do you think this was?
Anyway, moving on.
Sorry.
Early
This is
2000s.
anyway.
So listen, I just want to say we never finished talking about the Bangkok show, and I just want to say that Bukaw won a devastating first round knockout with body shots. A lot of people say, he didn't really get hit. He got cracked. The guy has 2 broken ribs that he fought. I mean, just tremendous power from Bukal, and I can't wait to see Sanchai fight on in December, and then who knows if Bukal and Sanchai end up fighting each other? That would be tremendous.
Oh, I feel like Dave just might have dropped a little Easter egg, as Rob likes to say.
Yeah, there's other dude. There's a ton. I heard from a bird some other prominent kickboxers across the globe have been calling out.
Yeah, the problem is and we can mention the one guy's name. Are you talking about Dave? Dave Ledoux. So Dave Ledoux is a very accomplished fighter. He's awesome. We want him. We definitely want to have talk with him. The problem is from what I heard, and I don't know this for sure, but from what I heard is he said some very derogatory things about the King of Thailand, and because of that, that's going to be a really hard fight to ever really make.
Why don't you have him fight What can he fight the King of Thailand?
Oh, since I got him here, can I steal real fast?
Can you talk? Can you talk into the mic?
Another kickboxer that I asked last week to try to sign. Well, he's not a kickboxer anymore. He's the deplatformed Andrew Tate. How about him fighting your boy Dave? What's his name?
Dave Ledoux.
Yeah, make that fight happen.
I will say. I mean, Andrew Tate. I don't know much about him. I just know that he's. Everybody's talking about him now.
Yeah,
I don't know what his real platform is and what his fighting history is. I know he fought before, but he's doing his. People are talking about him.
Well, since you refused to wear headphones today, Rob, Evan tried to break in and say something. Evan, I'm sorry, we steamrolled you. So, man,
he's just pushing buttons, man.
He's now saying you should be pushing buttons, Evan. What's he doing? I know, I agree. I like Evan's perspective here. You're pissing everybody off, dude.
Well,
I am, man.
I'm
in a pissing off mood.
Isn't Bukal and Sanchai? I think he trained him, right? Aren't they sensei and?
That'd be awesome.
It is, but it's a fight that's been almost 12 years in the making right now, and they've been unsuccessful in making it. Every major promotion over there tried to make that thing, and I'm not saying we're going to make it, but I think that if we put our mind to it, that fight will happen. So,
Dave Ledoux. As soon as I put out a post yesterday saying who should Bukal fight next, and. He immediately chimed in and was like blowing up the comments saying how he should fight him and all that. He's been chasing him for forever.
Give him Andrew Tate.
I mean,
and then so was Palomino too. Luis was saying no, that should be me.
Yeah,
Luis really wants to fight him too. Luis wants a big fight.
Yeah, everybody wants a big fight.
Yeah, that's true.
So we got to try to make them big fights happen.
I think we're doing a really good job of trying to make those big fights happen.
You guys talking to the mic?
I'm talking.
No, not you. I mean, those two.
So
the two clowns.
I said everybody is trying to get big fights, and we're trying to make those big fights happen. But we have to develop those big fights. They don't just fall in our lap. So we have to make them happen. We have to work on them, and make sure that we set them up properly. And then we're going to have a lot of big fights in 2023. We're going to have an unbelievable amount of very, very good and big fights. We're going to have fights really all over the world. We're probably going to have 60 to 70 live events next year with all the licensing deals that we're doing in these different countries. BKFC UK will be back, and we're going to drop that announcement on September 10th this Saturday night on the broadcast. We'll once we pencil that up today, we're going to be able to drop that in. I mean, we got a lot of great stuff happening. So all these guys that are talking about fighting for us now, it's flattering as hell, man.
Cool.
You got to think that 4 years ago, we had to beg guys to want to fight for us, on our first show, and now the biggest names in combat sports are coming out of woodworks trying to get involved with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and it's great. Not just the promotion Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, but there are other promotions out there. I know I wanted to segue into what you were going to talk about a little bit with some of these other Bare Knuckle promotions.
Before we do the segue, I just want to say, when you get up and talk on the mic and you get close like that, I know you can hear it in your headphones. You have a Barry White-esque voice. Could you sing Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe, or something for us? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yo, my man, you singing Barry White?
You do. Your voice got very bassy when you got close. Oh, he's Mike Jones fan, bringing the callback. So let's talk about the other Bare Knuckle. I really thought you would do that.
Yes,
you disappointed me. Let's talk about the other Bare Knuckle Federation.
So we're glad that you're in the studio today, Dave. I got actually a couple of questions because there are some other organizations that are popping up and have been around a little bit earlier, a little bit later.
Talking in my mind.
Some are doing some really good things. You have promotions, bare knuckle boxing, you got the hardcore fighting, you got the top dogs. But then you got other promotions that are putting a little bit of a black eye, no pun intended. I've actually seen some ex-fighters fight in one organization where like everything is like legal. There's nothing that's illegal. Maybe that's a better question. Eye gouging, groin punches, fighting on the concrete. I don't even know if it's labeled as a sport. But I wanted to get kind of your feedback on that, because that's how people perceived Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship originally, as this very savage, no rules, no holds barred style, promotion, which obviously it's very structured, it's very organized, and the health and the safety of the fighters is on the forefront. But then again, these other organizations that are now popping up, seems that they're trying to go as extreme as possible, and it can only end one way in my mind, and it's going to be bad.
I agree 100%, Rob. Look, at the end of the day, is we built this thing, from the ground up, and the whole thing that we threw out there from day one, 12 years ago, was safety, safety, safety. How we're going to make sure that it's safe for the fighters, how we're going to do things to try to benefit the fighters. These other things, I think, are more gimmicky. Look, they thought we were a gimmick, but we knew that we weren't a gimmick when we came out. We knew where we wanted to evolve to, and we were not going to become a gimmick. So that being said, you got these other guys coming out there. I also saw some requirements to fight for there, and they don't even have medicals. Oof. Like, there's no medical testing prior to the fight.
Didn't they not have medicals in England as well? I mean, we went over there and pretty much we set the standard for those, right?
Yeah, we did. So just to go back to that England event, the London event, we were only required to have, actually we weren't required to have any medicals at all, because we were kind of what's called self-sanctioning. We brought over Brian Dunn from Nebraska so everything got reported back to the United States. We had ISKA from England, but they did not have any medicals really in place for us, and we made them get more medicals than anybody gets over there. They all had an MRI of the brain, an MRA of the brain. They all had an ophthalmological eye exam. They all had physicals, EKGs, you name it, blood work. They had it. They had every type of medical really on the face of the earth that you could give a fighter. So we set the standard there. And why? Because we want people to know that we're serious, that we really want to take this sport mainstream over there. This is not an underground sport anymore. This is a sport that people are taking very seriously. And if they're going to take it very seriously, we have to take the medicals very seriously for the fighters, because, again, we want to make sure the fighters are treated right. And then post-fight, we have the best physician, really, I think, as a ringside physician, Dr. Don Musi, that he actually stays in the hotel with the fighters, leaves his phone on all night, and gives them all his phone number. Anyone that got knocked out, anyone that has any type of trauma, he can call them or they can call him at any hour of the night. So we're doing everything we can do on that respect, to take it up a notch. So those things that you're talking about, Rob, they're just, in my mind, they're gimmicky. And will people watch them? They might watch them. But at the end of the day, I'm not just trying to develop this promotion. We're trying to really legitimize the sport of bare knuckle fighting. And when people do the right thing, I invite competition. I like competition. Why? Because what competition is doing is it's getting other people around the world, around the country, looking at this sport and understanding what bare knuckle fighting is. So then when they see an advertisement for our promotion, they go, oh, I know what that is. Oh, let's check that out. Oh, they got that guy fight on that promotion. Then it's just a different sentiment they have.
No, I see what you're saying about that, and it's interesting to see the growth from the underground stuff, and that's the whole goal. We said it since day one. It was an underground product that you found, that you saw, and I believe you maybe went to a couple of them. You might have some crazy stories, but you took it from those underground places where there's no care for health. It's illegal. It's done in like dingy places, right? And you took it and you made it this nice presentation now that made it safer for the fighters, and that's what we're trying to get away from. Like you're saying, Rob, I agree. Well, it can only end bad.
Yeah, I guess one of my arguments, or not one of my arguments, is one of my concerns is kind of like guilt by association. So, throw in ex-prominent MMA fighters who are now competing in these no-holds-barred, style arenas, they take their name, they take the location of, their history of where they've been. And of course, they're independent fighters. But people kind of will look at that and say, oh, I saw that guy on this organization, or I saw that guy on, that organization. Now they're, kicking people in the face and kicking people in the groin. Is that where they came from? Is that what that style is? That's what I'm saying.
So do you think
some of these organizations and some of these styles could be more detrimental to everybody?
It makes us. You're saying that also bare knuckle fighting championship. If they came here from there, or they go from here to there, you think that may make us look a little bad? Is what you're saying? Is that correct?
The difference is,
I
Rob,
don't think so.
here's the
We set
difference,
the
though.
standard.
The only the difference is because they're not regulated. They're not sanctioned. They're not legal. They're doing things illegal. They're doing things unsanctioned, unregulated. So therefore, could it possibly have a black eye? A little bit, but it won't have as big of a black eye because it's not regulated. Had it been regulated, had it been sanctioned and overlooked by somebody, and then something bad happens, then it's a real black eye. But look, anybody, you go in the backyards and have street fights, or someone pulls a gun on you anywhere in the world, anything can happen if it's not legal or not regulated. So you can't really hold us or any other prominent bare knuckle promotion to those standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I would say, to kind of piggyback what he's saying and make sure I understand it correctly, and Rob does as well, is that these other unregulated, even if they're regulated, they're not doing things right. Then if we come to town, well, there might be some resistance. We're usually the first ones to kind of make it on a broad stage anyway there. We're the ones that, like we did in England, set the standard. So in a way, maybe it makes us look even better because we're the ones making the rules. We're playing by the rules that we're making, that we're trying to make it healthy, where the other ones, they don't care. So
look, at the end of the day, here, really with this sport and what I'm doing and my envisionment of this thing is, look, I want to make this a very large-scale combat sport promotion that everybody in the world's talking about. And when I talk to people about it and they go, that don't know what it is, and I try to explain it to them, and the first thing I do is I go, listen, it's adaptable. Yep. It's more adaptable to the main common person. And they go, what do you mean? And I go, okay, listen, I'm going to show you. So I was in a hotel lobby and I went around everybody. I say, do you know what a omoplata is? And they'd be like, huh? Do you know what a rear naked chokehold is? Maybe. You choke someone. Do you know what a bare knuckle punch is? Do you know what a bare knuckle punch to the face is? Every single one, man, woman, black, white, Chinese, doesn't matter how old you are, didn't matter. They all knew what a bare knuckle punch is. So now our job is to just keep doing the right thing, putting these great fights on, but getting new eyeballs on it. Because as you know, when we go to these live events,
forget about it.
Almost 100% fan retention,
It's
right?
awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's just unbelievable because they see it in person and now they know what it really is. It's not a backyard street fight. It's not happening in some field somewhere. It's a well-organized, well-produced event with some of the best combat sports athletes in the world.
Yeah, and we hear that a lot. We hear about the production values and what we make it look like. Everyone's blown away. You can watch it on the app, and you should, but when you come there live, we say it all the time. I feel like it's a broken record. It's still cool on the app, but it's even cooler when you're there live. You hear it. You see the scale of. It's a big production. That ring is gigantic. Yeah. The lights, the smoke, everything. So I feel like we kind of hold ourselves to a higher standard, and I feel like the ones that you're talking about are kind of down here, and they might climb up a little bit, but again, we're going to be the ones setting the standard. I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. I actually enjoy. I'm not going to lie. I'm a combat sporting fan in general. I just love fighting, but I also love the sportsmanship when it comes to that. Yeah. And like some of these other organizations, I love it. They look great. A lot of them are wonderful, and then other ones, I'm like, wow, that's extreme. That's too much. Yeah, that's too much.
Too much for you, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's like I don't want to see anyone get permanently disfigured, injured, or anything like that. I think that then it doesn't become a sport.
You can gouge people's eyes, you're saying, in this stuff?
Some of them, yeah. It's
no, absolutely. And Brian, look, man, I've been in, as you know, I'm a former professional boxer. My dad trained 7 world champions. I've been in this my whole life.
Yeah, hit me all the
time. And when you get in there, take the gloves off, right? And I did a couple underground bare knuckle fights, but take the gloves off and really go 5 2-minute rounds with somebody else. No, it's going to sound weird when I say this, but it's a very intimate moment, meaning like bonding. It's hard to have resistance and to not like the guy afterwards or the girl that you're fighting with because you're giving it your all for 10 minutes if it goes 10 minutes. But for 10 minutes, you are with bare knuckles, cutting people up, fighting your heart out. It's just something that it's hard. I think it's hard. I've been doing this my whole life, like I said, and when we get done boxing, we talk, curse at each other, call people all kinds of names while we're in their sparring. At the end, hey, my man, great work. You know what I mean? But it's the kind of it's a weird kind of passion that you have inside of there that you're sharing with someone else.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I don't know if I would feel the same way because I'm not a professional fighter. You were, and I think though that. You see that a lot. You see these guys that have almost, and women, that almost have hatred. We talked to Britton Hart about this. Yeah. Didn't kind of calm down with her and Beck Rawlings, but usually after a fight, no matter what you see going into it, they're shaking hands, they're hugging afterwards, even a quick embrace, and they have respect. And I can understand that you're going to war against somebody.
Didn't calm down there because I actually talked to Beck the other day because she was mad at me. Thought I said that she fought a horrible fight. And I said, no, I didn't say you fought a horrible fight. I said, in general, I didn't think it was a good fight. I thought it was it was a bad fight for the fans, right? It wasn't a very engaging fight. So she didn't think that Britt gave her the opportunity to have a good fight, so that's why she was mad at her. It wasn't like she was mad at her for anything that was said before. She was just mad at her because of that.
Oh, I didn't know that little slice that I didn't know. Did you know that, Rob?
No, I didn't know that. I know Beck has been calling for a fight, though. She's all over social media trying to get another fight. I think that the way that she approached it, again, I said, Britton Hart got into her head. I don't know what happened, what occurred, but she was emotional before the fight. She was emotional during the fight, and then post-fight. You know, she was calling her a pussy. She was calling her a bitch, and, you know, she was not stopping. Britton Hart wanted to bury the hatchet. She's like, nope, not happening.
That is true. So I didn't know that was the reason for her anger. I thought it was more than that. It's just because she didn't think she was giving her a good fight.
I'm sure she wasn't happy with what was said, and I'm sure that she still was a little angry, but I know that she said that because, you know, she had a lot of people saying it was a bad fight. It was a bad fight. I mean, look, and I'll tell the truth, it wasn't a great fight. It wasn't a great fight for the fans, but Britt, I think, was allowed to have a good technical fight on you know, one time because she comes out bloody every other time that she fights because she gives it her all. So, and she gave it her all, but she fought a very technical fight, so she's allowed to do that.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. So who do you fault that? Who do you fault for that though? Do you fault Britton Hart for putting on a very solid performance?
And that's her game plan.
Yeah, she executed her game plan. It might not have been the most exciting, but Beck should have hopped in though, and you know, should have been more engaging, cut off the ring. You know, grip her up a little bit, do more. If you wanted to change the trajectory of the fight, it's up to you to do that.
I agree 100%. Listen, Rob, I don't mean to cut you off, but again, you're not wearing your headphones today. So they're telling me in my ear we have to take a quick break. So that's the Rob cut off. I'm sorry. I had to do that live.
Commercial.
So please, let's let the guy throw it to commercial, the new guy.
Go to commercial.
The world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship presents BKFC 29, live on Saturday night, September 10th. In the main event, the inaugural Women's Strawweight World title is up for grabs as BKFC vet Britton Hart fights BKFC Thailand champion Fanny Palumpi. In the co-main event, combat sports legend Joe Diesel Riggs clashes with rising star Josh D-Day Dyer. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it at bkfc.com.
And we're back. Sorry. And we're back. That's the voice I have to use on this podcast.
Good to see you, Brian.
I don't know where the other guy went. He just like left. It was like that was taped. He's gone now.
Yeah. It was like a
quick exit. It was a quick exit. So it was good to have Dave Feldman on today. I didn't know about a lot of that stuff, and I'm more excited to see Britton Hart fight. I want to see what she's. After watching that, I want to see what she's going to do, how she's going to attack this big fight in front of her. I mean, Fanny, we said Muay Thai. She's kickboxing. She's done a lot. She's done a lot, and she's tough. So that'll be great. This Saturday, again, bkfc.com. Grab the app if you don't have it yet. Rob, you know what I noticed about Dave? When he talked about the underground bare knuckle fights that he had seen and how we were striving to make this more professional than the underground fights. He mentioned, I heard him talk about this before. He mentioned that he was in a couple of these fights. He tried it out. But what he did not mention, if you notice, did he win or lose? I don't know. I got to ask him the next time he's on. Let's ask the comments. Do you think Dave Feldman, when he did his underground bare knuckle fight years and years ago, do you think one or two, I don't know how many he did, do you think he won or lost? What do you think? I guess for my pay grade, I should say that he won. I really don't know, though.
I saw the tapes on one.
There's
That's
tapes?
all I can say.
Oh, now that's going to be an
This
issue.
is a while
I
ago.
have the tapes, but I'm not allowed to put it out there. But
I
yes, he
saw.
won.
I
He did
saw.
win.
Do you have the master's
No,
tape?
he won
There's no other tapes of this,
I have
right?
the cell phone video, which was the only tape there was.
Do we have the tape of me
Wait a
sparring
minute.
him?
Hold on. Oh,
I had the one with you with the bodysuit.
Yeah.
You
No.
sparred him?
Yeah, I asked him to put on the gloves. I was like, throw me some shots. And he dropped me.
I asked him one day. I made the mistake because I'm trying to like analyze things, and I've never been in a professional bare knuckle fight. I say
Me
all the
neither.
time. I know you haven't either. I mean, I've
some street
I've the
fights.
streets. Yeah, I got my
Yeah.
ass beat in the streets a couple times.
Yeah, I got my nose broke a
but
couple.
yeah, straight up. But I never felt what a liver shot felt like. And you hear him talk about. I said, Dave, I'm like, what's a liver shot feel like? And he punched me like not even hard in the liver. And I thought I was gonna go. I mean, that hurts.
It's
I knew
like-
it did, but geez.
it's like your whole body gets shocked and you can do nothing.
Oh, it was crazy.
You just drop.
I jokingly said about being a pro fighter. I don't know if you heard me earlier. I said that when he's talking about he's, we know he's a pro fighter. I do know he's a pro fighter because being around Dave a lot, he becomes a pro fighter sometimes if you're friendly
I'll
with him
let
or
you
you work
know.
with him. Yeah, he'll give you a couple shots to the stomach, maybe the face, just really gentle.
Yeah, it's like
makes you
that.
tougher.
It's like that coach usually hits you too hard with the helmet on, man.
Oh, it sucked. I wasn't into that either. I need a helmet when
wasn't
I'm around
either.
Dave. He's always swinging on me. But I
so
do.
is-
Wait,
is-
hold on. I want to know. I'm sorry,
Yep.
Rob. I want to know from Junior in there. You said there's video of this. You have the only video of this. What would it cost for us to get that on the app to release? What would Rob and I have to pay to get that released?
Who are you gonna pay? Me?
Ghostbusters. I don't know. Yeah, I'll pay you. How much should we
You can
pay?
afford me.
I probably couldn't, man. I hear you're a high class person too. All right.
So has David Senior officially left the building? Because I wanted to drop one thing that I heard.
Well, if you didn't leave, he's going to come back in here. We're not going to have another mic, and then you're going to get in a fight, which I kind of
All
want to
right,
see.
so I'm going to toss this to Evan. Evan, please correct me if I'm wrong on this. Is there a huge beef with another promotion that's that's bringing all of Mother Russia against Dave?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that from what I
From
saw,
what I see, like we keep getting tagged and stuff from this Russian promotion. I don't know if Dave has talked to them at all or what the deal is, but every post we put up there, we'll get like 50 comments from these Russians.
Yeah,
just saying,
they're the
our
army.
promotion's the best. I don't know what
Really?
Dave has said.
They're probably bots.
No, they're real. It's
Wow.
It's that one where you always see their like the things that always go viral about that promotion is their weigh-ins, and then you'll just see somebody like knock the other guy out at the weigh-in. Have you seen
What?
that? You've never
No,
seen that?
I gotta look this up now. I'm curious.
It always happens. They'll just like
That's
there'll
too
be like
much,
a
though.
flying knee at
Yeah.
weigh-in. I never see any actual their fights go viral. It's always the weigh-in.
no
But-
good fight content, just
Right.
at the weigh-ins.
But anyway, so yeah, they've been their CEO or president, whatever, has been posting because I'll see in like the message requests, that they've been tagging us and things. And there was some article that came out. I don't know if they're challenging us or what the deal is, but I don't know if you can even get into Russia right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can make some calls. I'll call
Yeah,
Nikolai Volkov.
they barking up the wrong tree though.
Yeah, they really are, man.
I don't want to be on some Russian article, so I'll let you.
I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying Nikolai Volkov is a contact there, and he will help us out if we call him. Maybe he can get him on our team. I don't know. But
Listen, man. I mean, if they got some good fighters, we've got better fighters. We'll settle it in the ring.
What do you think? Do they come here or do we go there?
I'm not going.
Oh, I ain't
We're
going
the
there.
bigger promotion.
Dude, I ain't
but-
going there.
but
You're not
does-
coming back.
does that
We'll
make
have to hang out with
sense,
Jeff
though?
Monson
How
or
does
whatever
that-
his
name is.
There's a lot of people think you could just do that, but there's a lot of things on the business side that have to be worked out.
Sure.
Media rights deals, who gets rights to what footage.
That's
It's not.
business
You
stuff.
can't just send somebody over there and they fight and
That's
And
underground
handle
fighting.
your
currently under
business.
contract. Yeah, you gotta. There's a lot of.
Why
stuff
don't
that
we
has to
just
get
have a
worked
street
out.
fight then?
Call Sylvester Stallone. He did this
Get him- he'll
before.
get it done.
Yeah, man. He did this before.
Here's your Rocky reference. Where's
Yeah,
our bell
dude.
for the Rocky reference? We need a bell for it every time he makes one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna bell every time the reference comes.
This is the best I can give you.
My man.
But that's that's big, man. That's big.
What do you think? Would you do it? Do you think it's good for us to have like a rival promotion?
No, it's helping them, I think.
Even
talking about it's going to help them.
I honestly want to see the level of competition. If they have some legitimate fighters that pose a legitimate challenge to some of our fighters, that's something that I think the fans would enjoy. Again, we keep
I
it as
think we
professional as possible. Again, you're going to have your beef. Right now, USA and Russia have never been the best of friends.
No.
But I mean, I think a little bit of support either way wouldn't hurt.
I remember back in the day on those in the arcades on the hockey games, it was always Russia versus the
Oh,
USA.
no.
Then they
Yeah.
changed to Canada, because it became. Now it's probably back to Russia.
I think one of their fighters is coming over here. Somebody who's
yeah?
competed over there. Dave would know this. What's
Sailor?
his name? Eugene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eugenie.
Yeah.
When's he fighting? I don't know.
Monroe.
Monroe.
Okay, Louisiana.
I don't know if it's him though.
It's October 1st. Main evented by Hunt versus Henry.
Well,
Versus-
We may
hopefully.
be fight. We may see.
I'd like to see
some
what
of the,
their,
There's more leaks in the studio than.
I didn't leak anything.
Oh, come on.
Leaky.
The fight's in 3 weeks.
There we go.
Let it out.
Yeah.
Let it out.
What about as far as this promotion you're talking about? Do they have a really big following?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
we hit 1 million
Should
on
we say their
Instagram, which
name?
is
Doesn't
huge.
matter. I don't want to.
No, don't say the name. I wouldn't.
No, all right. What's their name? And then I'll say it.
Those who shall not be mentioned. Why are we going to give them free publicity?
No, I want to talk about
They're
things that
clout
fight
chasers
fans,
like me. Why?
But listen, I want to talk about things that fight fans would want to hear about, and I think this is a legitimate topic that I don't want to sugarcoat or dance around. That if there is a legitimate other promotion out there that are legitimate fighters for that matter, listen, whether you're from Russia, whether you're from New Zealand, whether you're from China, when you get into the ring, it's all sportsmanship at the end of the day, no matter whatever country.
But what I'm saying is, by talking about them, they were or they're challenging us or whatever. Like, now we're giving them what they want. It's like when you ignore the bully or whatever, you ignore them.
Yeah, but
and
what
then
happens?
when it comes down
but
to
what
it,
happens when USA though?
Here, try it again.
that's what we need them in here again.
I was there.
This is like a year ago.
Hit it here.
Why are you wearing headphones, Rob?
I don't know.
High.
Oh yeah,
Too
he almost,
high. Rob,
he almost
you're-
broke my sternum.
I want to see Lorenzo Hunt do that to you. My left shoulder hurts. Where are you guys at, in a warehouse? Oh, that's our warehouse.
Yeah, this is a while ago. This is when I was pregnant.
Yeah, that COVID belly. Is
Yeah.
I wouldn't want
there
to
a
hit me.
conclusion to this? Does it?
I don't know where it goes to.
happens?
Hit him below the belt. Look at Rob's face. Watch Rob's face.
I like the Taekwondo sparring thing.
Toughen up. Look at him.
Free workout in the back.
Rob, what did this feel like? Tell us. Too high.
It hurts. It's no joke, man. It's no joke.
Now think about that bare knuckle. To the body shots, I think there's some
Oh,
of the
yeah,
best shots
what
of bare
level?
knuckle.
What level of padding is that? And for you actually to feel so much of it.
Yeah, two of them. That's what I was going to say. Too.
I know. That's what I'm
double padding.
saying.
So now think about a
You know,
a
that and I
body
don't do
shot.
any
Think about a
sit-ups,
body
but-
shot, man, with
I
bare
know.
knuckle.
I know.
Jeez. Well, there you
That's
go.
no joke.
Well, I didn't expect that. I'm glad we got that footage. I know how they dug it up. Pretty
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. This morning I was like, man, I really don't feel good about myself. Now I feel great. I feel absolutely amazing after looking at that.
How many lbs you dropped since then?
I think like 10.
Good, man. Good for you.
A little bit.
How you
Thank
doing
you. Changing my diet, sleeping better, eating better.
You sleep?
Working
I
out,
thought you
yeah.
never sleep.
Well, as the child grows older, they sleep longer and in a more structured pattern.
I'm waiting for those days, brother. I'm waiting. I got two.
Becomes a little bit easier.
I got two of them. I'm waiting for those days. Well, again, I don't know if the most exciting thing on the show was seeing Rob get punched in the stomach.
Yeah.
The fact that we're going to contact Lorenzo after the show. We're going to set up for Lorenzo to come here and punch you. You can wear a head, but
I could probably wear. Dave probably wear. How much does Dave weigh? Like 160 maybe. So he's like 40 pounds less than Lorenzo. I wouldn't even. You could put a glove on Lorenzo and I'd stand up and I'd take all of his power. He couldn't drop me.
Rob thinks he's being funny, but Rob, you're going to get yourself into
Oh,
something.
dude, I got abs of steel now. I've been working out. Come on, Lorenzo Hunt.
Who wants to see? I think we need a rematch with you and Dave. We need a couple more punches there, or you versus Lorenzo. I mean, I think Lorenzo would do it.
I think if I said, "Here, punch me in the stomach," yeah, I think he would. But what happened? All jokes. All right, listen. All jokes aside, we seen the dude lift up a car. We seen him do some feats of power
Hold
and
his
jump
breath
over
for
people.
2 minutes straight under the water.
What would that
shadowboxing.
look like, though, from someone that's supposed to call himself the Juggernaut that punches a nobody, and I sit there and I take it like a man, and nothing happens?
You wouldn't be able to take it like a man. Number one and number two.
But what would happen?
You wouldn't.
He would
It
have to
wouldn't
get
happen.
cut. I get his belt.
No. Oh, jeez. Number one, you wouldn't
I
be able to
take
it like a
over.
man.
I take the division
this guy,
over.
This guy. Dude, you wouldn't take like a man. If you took the division over, then you got bigger problems. Are you going to fight Quentin Henry? Is that,
I ain't
he's your
fighting
buddy. You're a
anybody.
good buddy, Quentin Henry. You want to knock
Yeah,
Lorenzo off?
Lorenzo
That guy?
Hunt just has to retire then.
Come on, dude.
Get back to parking cars or moving cars, whatever he's doing.
Speaking of Lorenzo, wow. Speaking of parking cars and moving cars, speaking of Lorenzo Hunt, let's talk about that really quick before we get out of here. Another successful tryout. I believe it was in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
Lorenzo Hunt ran this. I'm told there was almost 60 people there. There was like, sometimes there's less than that, these tryouts. Apparently, it was just, it was more of an event than a tryout. It had a lot of stuff going on.
It's awesome.
And they said there was a lot of people that looked really good, Nate was saying.
Really?
So I'm excited to see who we got on this tryout. The important thing is, Lorenzo, if you don't know, arguably,
Man, you love this dude. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I love all these dudes. I think they're great. I love the women too. The fighters are phenomenal. So Lorenzo, I think the story is great. He comes from tryouts. So he's this arguably one of our biggest stars here that we found at tryouts. So it's very important to him, from my estimation, when I'm talking to him off the air, to show these people you can get in here through tryouts. You can succeed. You're not going to beat me. You can probably say that, but you can succeed. And I'm told he was a really good motivator. At the tryouts.
Did anyone listen to how he talked to me? Like,
He motivated you to pee your pants.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm being honest, dude. Actually, you stood up against him. I wouldn't have.
Because it's easy. Because I can hide behind this microphone.
And never come to a show, and you're never going to have to deal with it. You're such a
never.
dirtbag. You're such a dirtbag, man.
I'm gonna talk trash behind this mic.
Let me say something. You say stuff, and then I go there, and when your name gets brought up, somehow I get included. And I'm like, I
appreciate it. I appreciate it. You go to bat for me. But
I've had almost more than one fighter try to hit me or beat me up and stuff you
all
say.
I'm doing, though, is speaking the truth when it comes to that. He did not like what I had to say, and that's his right. That's his opinion. He doesn't have to like it. I voiced my opinion today on other organizations. I voiced my opinion on other fights. I have an opinion. He doesn't like it. He said he doesn't like it, but that's, hey, whatever.
So, brave man.
For me, and I hope to make it a dream come
Quick
true
look
for
at
y'all.
the tryout.
I know a lot of y'all hear me talk, and I talk shit, and I talk, but it's easy for me because I'm not telling no lies. It comes right off the top of the head. I came from the tryouts. I walked in like you walked in. I signed the paper like you signed the paper, and I showed my ass like you about to show your ass. And then I got in the ring, and I did what I had to do. I'm giving you the same opportunity that I had. I ain't giving you nothing more, nothing less. Do not expect no favoritism because nobody gave me shit. And that's the reason I'm so strong. So I only want strong people here. So don't ask me for no favors. Don't ask me for shit. And that's how you'll be. That's how you'll be a world champ. I don't need a ride. If my car broke down, I push it. I don't need no fucking help. And you don't neither. You don't need no help. Help yourself.
Help yourself.
And this is the first step. Now there's managers here. Somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose, but ain't no such thing as losing. All there is trying. Keep fucking trying. And you might be like me.
I'm going to try every day of my life. I'm going to go run 16 miles now, and that's not even enough for Lorenzo. That was motivational, Rob. You can't say that wasn't motivational.
No, listen.
I'm excited.
Listen. Again, my opinion. I don't have a vested interest. What he did, what he put together, what he said, I agree. I agree 100%. I will not argue that by any stretch of the imagination.
He's worked hard to get where he's at.
Yeah.
I bet. Whoa!
What?
You don't understand something. The way you say things, you went, yeah. Give him some credit, man.
I will. He's a very, very good fighter.
Any fighter, not just him.
He's a very good fighter. He's got a good gimmick. He hopped. I set up. He hopped into the ring.
Oh, man.
I just listen from step one when I saw that. Everyone's, oh, that's so great. That's so great. I'm like, really? This is what we're supporting. We support that type of behavior.
But you're calling it a gimmick. He flat out said when he interrupted the show, he was saying all these other fighters are gimmicks. I'm not. Yeah. This is the real me. So he's not going to like that either. Do you want to keep digging your ditch with him? I think that he's never going to come on our show again if you keep it up either. I'm serious. It's going to be. I won't be able to interview him. You'll just be ripping.
I'll take the 30 minutes off. You can interview him, then I'll come back. You're
just. Sometimes I think that you get these fighters upset with you because of the way you deliver your message.
I mean,
I'm just being honest with you.
No, look, ask all the fighters. Everyone is very, supportive of other fighters. I've given everybody their credit. I've been a little bit harder on others than sometimes, but I'm voicing my opinion based off of their actions. That's it. Well, and he might not like it, and I respect his opinion. I think the tryouts were wonderful, though. Everything he said was great, except, he failed to mention that one time that he got beat, so...
You constantly you're like some fighters when I talk to them, you constantly give backhanded compliments. I feel like, I'm not trying to show favoritism to Lorenzo. I'm not trying to, say how great he is. He's talented. I enjoy watching him. But when I've watched what you've said off the air, let's be honest, and on the air to him, the disrespect you've given him, I feel like I do need to defend him when he's not here because sometimes he's a guy that the fans are polarized by him. Some love him, some hate him. Yeah. And I feel like anybody that would meet Lorenzo feels that way. But you have a very strong opinion of him, and we haven't really been putting that forth on the air. So I'm glad we're doing that now.
So I'll clear the air. I'll try to be as
that should be good.
Even keel as possible. We'll invite Quentin Henry on, and Quentin Henry can kind of speak to his true feelings on what he views him as well. And I think then you'll see, wait a minute, maybe Rob was on to something, or maybe Quentin Henry's his biggest fan. I doubt it.
I don't think that.
I doubt it.
I can tell you.
I doubt that.
I can tell you from conversations, Quentin Henry's called him a bully. Doesn't like his attitude whatsoever. And I can kind of understand that. But Lorenzo's Lorenzo. And I think if we have Quentin Henry on, it would be great to talk about it. I want your views. I'll give him my views. I have a deep respect for Quentin Henry. I think he's great. I love the guy. But at the same time, I just feel like sometimes your views of Lorenzo are like this, and I got to try to even them out. So again, you made it. Somebody said that I was, you're jumping on Lorenzo. You're loving them. That's not what it is. I just feel like our conversations off the air sometimes leads to the ones on the air, and the fans don't know everything about your feelings. So I didn't mean to throw you on Main Street the other day when you called in, but I actually enjoyed doing
Man,
it.
the fans, that's fine. The fans don't have to like my opinion either.
That's fine. Your opinions. Everyone's got one, right?
Yeah, exactly. They can like you. They can hate me. Or they can like us both.
Or they can hate us both.
Yeah,
I think
true.
it goes that way sometimes.
Yeah, sure does.
Anyway. All right. Well, I mean, that's what I have for today. I'm so excited coming up for the big fight this weekend. Again, Britain Hart, a new Britain Hart that we haven't seen. She always shows respect, but this, I feel she's very dialed in, and she's looking at this woman and she's saying, Joey made the joke, invest in a sauna suit because you're going down a little bit. But she says she's comfortable in going down to that weight, 115. And she's excited to see what 115 is going to bring her. I'm excited to see what she does at 115.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that'll be a little better for her.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it was announced, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I've seen it hop around, the co-main for BKFC 30. Can we talk about that? Or
I didn't know either. I have that in my notes.
Yeah,
but
that's still a question mark.
Did we release that? Because I saw some.
No, it's out.
Some
Yeah.
clown.
So it is official.
Yes.
Official.
I'm excited for this match, dude. This
His
fight.
highly anticipated debut.
Okay, you got Ben Rothwell versus the Bible Belt Brawler, Bobo O'Bannon. And Bobo has been in some wars. Bobo is an absolute pleasure to watch. But let me tell you something. I met Ben in Florida. He came down, first of all, wonderful guy, easy to talk to, dialed in, wearing his bare knuckle fighting championship gear everywhere, loves being here, and I love that, especially if you come from another organization. If you show passion for the company, I think that's amazing. But I shook his hand. That man's hand, if we put our hands together, it wouldn't be as big as his hand.
All the way big dude.
Let me tell you some interesting stuff about him, actually, from speaking to him. We'll talk about this in later podcasts, later shows. But his big thing was he's got to find a pair of shoes, a pair of boots that fit him. He can't find one. He said he can't fight barefoot here. He used to fight barefoot. And he was telling me all this. And so I said to him, like, Ben.
Hey, man, we got fighters flashing some nip. We can have some barefoot fighters, too.
Hey, some people might actually like that. You know,
I'm so
Joe
getting canceled
Elmore
after
was,
this.
No. Joe Elmore, this brings up another topic, was telling me that somebody actually offered him, some perverse person offered him money.
What?
Would you do this? To go out, buy groceries. The guy gave him a list of the groceries he wanted him to buy. The guy paid for the groceries and then would pay Joe money to then put the groceries on the table and beat the groceries up. And he had strict. We got to talk about to Joe about this one time. He had strict instruction to punch a pie, like all different. It's weird stuff. Smash yourself in the head with an apple. I'm making stuff up, but he didn't have to do anything. He was a little freaked out. And there was another guy. All these fans hitting him up. They wanted to know which size shoe he wore, and he thinks it's a sponsor, you know. So he answers back. Like, could you send pictures of your feet? And he's like,
oh man.
I was like, what? So my point is, there's people into a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think Joe did that either. Joe was like, what? But to get back to the foot thing with Ben, he couldn't find something that fit him. He couldn't find. He was telling me this, and I said, "This is a perfect sponsorship opportunity, dude.
Yeah.
Get like a big name sponsor for your ring wear, and have them make your special shoes. Make a big deal out of it." I'm excited to see Ben. I'm excited that he's not being given a layup. And I'm not saying we give layups. I'm just saying that you see fighting promotions. Sometimes if someone's new, they get a layup. Bobo O'Bannon is not a layup.
Dude,
he's far from a layup. Ben, I hope you're ready. I hope that you've conditioned yourself, because Bobo is not going to be an easy fight, and I hope Ben knows that.
Dude, they're airing us out.
They go.
Wrap it up.
That was good. All right. Hey, thanks a lot. We're going to see you this weekend, Saturday night, BKFC app, BKFC.com. You can grab that. It's going to be a great fight. We're looking forward to it. Great Falls, Montana. I've never been with you. I can't wait to be with you this time, and I can't wait to get loud and crazy. That was kind of weird. So I'm going to take my headphones off. We're going to get nuts in Great Falls. See you there. Nerd Focus, baby, and Knuckle out.